Glad to have you with us here on Seattle Seahawks today. Tyler Jones here. Thanks for stopping by. And in case you missed it, on Thursday, we did a live mock draft among all of the hosts here at Chat Sports where they got to make the picks for the teams they cover. And it was a 3-round mock draft, happened in real time, and I got to make every pick for the Seattle Seahawks while the other hosts were picking for their respective teams. And so on today's show, what we're going to do is I'm going to show you the picks I made and my thought process, how things played out. And we'll also show you some of the other picks that were made in this mock draft and give you our reaction coming up here on today's program. Before we do, folks, we are closing in on 65,500 subscribers here on Seattle Seahawks today. I want to get there before the draft starts, but we need your help to get there, folks. Make sure you join us for our live coverage of the 2025 NFL Draft right here on Seattle Seahawks today. We'll be live on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday for all 3 days of the draft. Subscribe now for free, youtube.com/SeahawksTV, and we will see you on Thursday night. So this was a bit of a shocker to begin this draft. I'll be honest, I had no intentions of selecting a tight end in the first round. Was not expecting Tyler Warren or Colston Loveland, either one, to potentially be available at 18. Tyler Warren went off the board at 5. Colston Loveland was there at 18, and I could not pass up on the opportunity to get Colston Loveland here. Do I think that's probably going to happen? No, if I'm going to be frank with you. But if he's there, I think John Schneider's got to jump on this opportunity to get a player like Colston Loveland. And for those of you that are saying to yourselves, there's just no way that the Seahawks are going to draft a tight end, and they don't know how to use the tight end position. What I would tell you is that this tight end position is going to be valued totally differently under Clint Kubiak than what we saw under Ryan Grubb or Shane Waldron or any of the previous regimes in Seattle. Colston Loveland, I think, has got star potential in this league. His scouting report, according to our own Tom Downey, he's a really good athlete that fits the mold of a seam stretcher, has a big catch radius and a great ability to get open at all 3 levels, has the size to be much better as a blocker. And for those of you that have been complaining about the idea of drafting tight ends, saying we need help on the offensive line, well, last time I checked, the tight end position is on the offensive line, and he'll be able to help you in the blocking as well. You'll look at the numbers of what he put up. He was banged up a bit this year, and yet he still had a very good season as a second-team All-Big Ten selection, a second-team All-American. He was a crucial part of Michigan's national title run a year ago, and a big reason why J.J. McCarthy ended up being one of the top picks in last year's draft. This season, he finished with 582 yards, 5 touchdowns, just over 10 yards of reception off of 56 catches. And his analysis from Dane Brugler of The Athletic had this to say on Colston Loveland. Loveland doesn't have the skill set for full-time incline responsibilities, but his full dynamic movements, natural hands, and football awareness should make him one of the primary targets in an NFL offense. His tools and upside are reminiscent of Zach Ertz. I think this would be a great pick, and we still have plenty of opportunities to take care of the offensive line. A little spoiler, we are going to address the offensive line with more picks to come. How would you grade the pick of Colston Loveland? A, B, C, D, or F? It is our pinned comment today. Weigh in. How did I do? I couldn't pass up on him. Jumped on the opportunity. I think he's going to be a star in this league. Weigh in the comments section and let me know. Next up, with the 50th pick, now we address the offensive line, and we go with a guy that Seahawk fans have been talking about left and right, and that is Tate Ratledge, the offensive guard from Georgia at 50th overall. Tate Ratledge, when I look at him, I see a guy that should immediately come in and be a starter for this Seattle Seahawks offense. Whether he plays left guard or right guard, either way, you're going to find a spot for him. And this offensive line, I think, can dramatically improve with him a part of the equation. You'll look at his scouting report. This is somebody that's ready to go, folks. He has good hands and power along with strong awareness. Showed solid athleticism on tape, but the testing was even better. He's taller for a guard and tends to lean too much at times. But overall, I'm very optimistic about what he would do at the next level. His grades were really good across the board, an overall grade of a 74.4, a pass block grade of a 77.3, a run block grade of a 74.7, and he only allowed 1 sack. And more from Dane Brugler of The Athletic. He said this on Ratledge. Ratledge is a self-described dirtbag with the contact power, competitive edge, and functional movement skills to match up against NFL defensive linemen. He should compete for a starting role as a rookie and has the necessary tools for a decade-long pro career if he stays healthy. And that's a big if, but I'm going to tell you, I feel pretty good about Tate Ratledge. So what do you think about Tate Ratledge? Should the Seahawks draft Tate Ratledge there at 50th overall, our first of 2 second-round picks? I couldn't pass up on him. What do you guys think? Type S for select, P for pass. Chime in the comments section. Tell me what you think. Today's show is sponsored by Game Time. Game Time is the place to go for the best seats, the lowest prices guaranteed. Game Time makes getting tickets faster and easier, even for hard-to-get playoff seats. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer it gets to tip-off. With killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee, Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying NBA playoff tickets. I know we wish we had the Sonics to root on in the playoffs, but I'll be attending some NBA playoff games here pretty soon. Maybe you're going to the NBA playoffs. Maybe it's something in Seattle like the Mariners or another event in the area. You choose the event you want to go to. They got the prices listed. You choose your seat, and then you're checking out just like that with Apple Pay, Google Pay, Venmo, all major credit card providers. Game Time is the official ticketing partner of Seattle Seahawks today, where you can save 60% off buying last minute for sports, concerts, comedy shows, theater productions, and more. Game Time Picks makes last-minute ticket buying even easier than ever by quickly highlighting the best deals in the stadium. They have their zone deals, where you can save even more when you choose a section and let Game Time choose the seats. They have their all-in pricing. Toggling this feature shows the total up front with no surprise fees at checkout. They have their seat views. Get a panoramic view from your seat in the app before you buy. The lowest price is guaranteed, or Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code ChatSports for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last-minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. The link is in the comments and the description of today's video. That's not the only Georgia lineman that we took in the second round. Just 2 picks later, we go with Jared Wilson, the center from the University of Georgia Bulldogs. We're going to pair him up with Ratledge, and they're going to be a perfect combination coming over together. Just 21 years of age, did not allow a single sack in 2024. He comes from Winston-Salem, North Carolina, a redshirt junior. And our own Tom Downey says he's the second best center in this draft. Impressive athlete with the quickness and hands to do plenty at the center position. Held up very well in pass protection. Needs more reps to help eliminate the inexperience as a processor. But I'll say this. I know a lot of you are high on Olu, and I get it. But Olu, you might move him to guard. He might even play tackle potentially. Jared Wilson might even play guard. You're just getting your best options out there, and you're putting the best 5 together. And I think that versatility is what you get with these picks of Wilson and Ratledge there. You'll look at his grades. An overall grade of a 79.6. Very solid. Pass blocking is his strength with an 84.9, but he holds his own in run blocking too with a 76.0 overall grade. Did not allow a single sack. Dane Brugler says this: Wilson lacks premium size and is fundamentally rough around the edges, but he sports the body control, movement skills, and football IQ to lock down a long-term starting center role. His game is reminiscent of Rodney Hudson's, and he should compete for immediate starting reps. So, what do you think about Jared Wilson? Why for yes, in for no? Do you like the pick at 52, or would you go with somebody else? Way in the comment section, tell me what you think. At 82, we go receiver, and I could have gone Savion Williams here. Instead, I'm going with Tez Johnson. I like Tez Johnson more than I do Savion Williams. He was much more productive than Savion Williams was, and he does a lot. He can be used not just as a receiver, but also as a return specialist as well. 83 catches last year, close to 900 yards, 10 touchdowns. He's got a great story. He grew up with Bo Nix. He was raised in Bo Nix's household. They were basically brothers. And I think that he's got some potential and could add a whole nother element to this Seahawks offense. His scouting report has the quickness and shiftiness that allow him to beat man coverage. He offers some dynamic ability, but limited due to his physical frame. He'll struggle with blocking and versus press coverage. But overall, I think that he's got the makings to be really good in this league. His stats, 10 touchdowns last year, 83 catches. He catches everything that comes at him. I would be excited about having him there in the fold. More from Dane Brugler on Tez Johnson. Johnson needs to improve on the technical side, and his lack of size and strength are limiting factors, but he is a blur when he runs and catches the ball with confident hands. Though he has NFL starting upside, he is more likely to be a role player who can produce on screens, shallows, deep verticals, and as punt returns. So there you have it on that front there with Tez Johnson with his analysis. So let's ask you, who's a player you want the Seahawks to draft? We've already gone over a couple names that we selected for Seattle. What say you? Weigh in the comments section. Give me a name that comes to mind that you would like to see picked. Up next, our final pick of this 3-round mock draft, we go Quincy Riley, the corner out of Louisville. I'll be honest, I wanted Kobe Bryant here, but my enemy, Joey Peterson, host of Ravens Rundown, he took Kobe Bryant the very pick before this, so I had to go with the next best option at the corner spot. We go with Quincy Riley. Quincy Riley, a lot of experience, sixth-year senior out of Louisville, 23 years old, had a solid season last year with 15 pass breakups, along with 33 tackles and 2 interceptions. His scouting report, he's experienced and productive with visible ball skills, very good quickness, and silence some speed concerns with athletic testing. He is inconsistent in run defense over his career, but that's not a priority for me at the corner position. And here's what we're talking about, the production, the 15 pass breakups, 2 interceptions, 33 tackles, 3 TFLs. He was really good there. Dane Brugler had this to say on Riley. Riley will need to prove that he won't be a liability against NFL size and strength, but he has the requisite speed and nose for the football to carry the vertical routes and challenge catch points. He projects as an immediate contributor, zone or man, with the upside to ascend to starter-level snaps. So to recap, these were our picks for the mock draft. We went with Colston Loveland, which was a very pleasant surprise. Tate Ratledge, Jared Wilson, Tez Johnson, and Quincy Riley with our picks. Here are the results of the first round of the Chat Sports Mock Draft. Cam Ward went number 1 to Tennessee. Then Travis Hunter went number 2 to the Browns. Abdul Carter went number 3 to the New York Giants. Will Campbell went number 4 to the New England Patriots. Those were all expected, right? Then we started to see some crazy happen as the draft really unfolded from 5 on back, with Tyler Warren, the tight end from Penn State, going to the Jags. Ashton Jeanty, the running back from Boise State, going to the Raiders at 6. Armand Membo, the offensive tackle from Mizzou, going to the Jets at 7. Mason Graham, the defensive tackle from Michigan, going to the Panthers at 8. Shador Orleans heads to New Orleans as Shador Sanders, the Colorado quarterback, goes to the Saints at 9. Mike Green, edge rusher from Marshall, goes to the Bears at 10. Jalen Walker, edge rusher from Georgia, goes to the 49ers at 11. Tedoroa McMillan, who I know the Seahawks have their eyes on, he was already off the board at 12 to the Dallas Cowboys. Then at 13, Will Johnson from Michigan, the corner, he goes to the Miami Dolphins. Jahad Campbell, linebacker from Alabama, he goes to Indianapolis at 14. Nicky Monwari, a guy the Seahawks like, he is already off the board at 15 to Atlanta. Donovan E., the edge rusher from Boston College, he goes to the Cardinals at 16. And then Barron, the corner from Texas, he goes to the Bengals at 17. Our pick, Colston Loveland, to Seattle at 18. Shamar Stewart, edge rusher from Texas A&M, goes to the Bucs at 19. Omarion Hampton, running back from North Carolina, goes to the Broncos at 20. Derek Harmon, defensive tackle from Oregon, he goes to the Steelers at 21. Kenneth Grant, the defensive tackle from Michigan, goes to the Chargers at 22. Luther Burden, some people think that he would end up in day 2. Instead, He's picked at 23 by the Packers, who actually take a receiver. Shocking. Then we have the Vikings going with Malachi Starks at 24, the safety from Georgia. 25, Matthew Golden slips all the way down there to the Houston Texans. 26, Kelvin Banks to the Rams, the offensive lineman from Texas. 27, James Pierce Jr., the edge rusher from Tennessee, goes to the Ravens. 28, Walter Nolan, defensive tackle from Mississippi, goes to the Lions. And then rounding out the Final Four selections, Jaden Higgins, Iowa State wide receiver, goes to the Commanders at 29. Trey Amos, corner from Mississippi, goes to the Bills at 30. Gray Zabel, who I know Seahawks fans are interested in, he slips 31 to Kansas City. And rounding out the mock draft, Mikael Williams, edge rusher from Georgia, keeps the Georgia train going in Philadelphia. And if you missed out on that mock draft, you want to see the rest of it, then go to our channel. Our live show that we did on Thursday, you can see the remainder of the other picks in rounds 2 and 3 as well. So make sure you subscribe to Seattle Seahawks Today. You can go back and watch that live show. We'll also be live for the NFL Draft next week. We got videos galore on the channel over the next several days. So lock us in. Subscribe now for free, and we'll see you next time right here on Seattle Seahawks Today.